kooky Kanye West. What are you talking about? DEFCON 1, DEFCON 2. See, Jews, we know about DEFCON 3, DEFCON 4. You're not doing DEFCON anything. With the Jews, we know about that. DEFCON 5, 6 million. We know all about that. You're working on the design for the new Yeezy Jewish space lasers. You're on some Marjorie Taylor Greene, Charlottesville. The Jews will not replace us. I defended you. Prick, you dusty prick. You look dusty. That's never going to be fashionably acceptable. Get the dust out of your beard. Take a shower, okay? I don't care what you're on or what you're not on. Take a shower. I was there. I defended you when Pistol Pete Davidson was sugar dicking your wife. But this is unacceptable, okay? You creep, you. And you're not going to be president. I know you think you're going to manifest things. You're never. I'm going to be the one to tell you to break the heart of your dream. You're never going to be president, you prick, you.
West tweeted on just recently, and I'll read it.
It was yesterday. Yesterday morning.
He wrote,
I woke up to this.
Yeah, this is what he said, in case people don't know. I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. And then he goes on to say, the funny thing is, I can't be anti-Semitic because black people are actually Jew also. You guys have... Anyway, he goes on. You saw that tweet, and you responded immediately saying this. Also, on October 9th, the holiest day in Judaism was last week. Words matter. A threat to Jewish people ended once in genocide. Your words hurt and incite violence. You are a father. Please stop.
I burst into tears. I woke up and burst into tears. DEFCON 3 on Jewish people? What are you doing? This is, it's bad enough that fascism is on the rise around the world, but on Twitter, on a portal, to pour that in as if Jewish people haven't had it hard enough.
Yeah, I have never seen your eyes well up in anger like that.
I literally, I woke up and I thought, my grandparents?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just abhorrent.
Yeah.
It's abhorrent behavior. I hope he gets help. I hope his children get help from him.
Wow.
It's terrible.
Yeah. It's been it's caused a ton of reaction. And
if we aren't reacting, who are we?
Yeah.
All right. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and a few sisters out there, onto the Israelite foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. And that seed is you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And as you can see, this Kanye mess business has stirred up the pot, so to speak, which that's what it's supposed to do anyway, because he's part of he's juiced in. And it is using him as an example, so they could restrict more people of saying anything towards them, and that them is the Amalekites. All right, out of all the dukes of Esau, Amalek is the worst of the worst sack of you know what ever. And you had what's this guy? Something rapping poet. He played in a lot of films. You got this famous actress, Jamie Lee Curtis, who got her pretty much her stardom came from the movie Halloween, which came out in 1977 or 79. I'm not too sure. I wasn't born, but you know we all see the movie time and time again. The first Halloween, she was one of Michael Myers' sister, tried to kill her, yada yada yada. Career, you know, she had a good career, but you never knew, I never knew, that she was one of them. So, what is the Lord doing? The Lord's stirring up that pot. See, what we're seeing the devil play his game tremendously. Alright? And it's going to stir up the pot, because that's what he does. But, in reality, is he really truly playing the game? He's not playing the game. He's just getting played. Because, once again, I didn't know this woman was one of them. Because of her last name, Jamie Lee Curtis. So, you would never think that's not a so-called Jew's name. But a lot of them change their names when they got to Hollywood because of persecution. That's what they will say. So they changed their names, and they have Hollywood names and so forth. But the jig is up. There's another video that's circulating out there of a woman basically saying how people are saying that they own Hollywood, they own this, they own that. So they're stating the facts are obvious, but now they want to deteriorate and say they don't own nothing. Or they don't have no part in anything. They don't own no banks or nothing. So that terminology, you know what, which is really anti-Sheminism, if that's, you know, because we all come from the line of Shem, okay? Because believe it or not, Esau is Jacob's brother, and we come from the same father, Abraham, Isaac. The split was between Esau and Jacob. So they play these games for hundreds of years, playing that they are the people of the Lord, and now they're being upset. All right, and there's plenty of scriptures, but I'm just gonna hit couple scripts. This is hilarious though. This is freaking hilarious. And there's probably more. There's gonna be more celebrities that we didn't know about. There's gonna cry. Oh, he should get help. He should do this and that. The other guy said, "Oh, I defended you. I defended you." And they keep throwing that 6 million business. That's a whole nother story. You know, because they trying to desensitize everything. They're trying to censor everybody's talk. Because the shit that's about to hit the fan is all gonna point to them. All right, it's all gonna point to them. So there's, instead of shit hitting the fan right away, when everything's still intact, they want to criminalize talking about them. All right, which goes into the Noahide, Noahide they call it, which basically is the law of Noah. And you can't talk nothing bad about them. If anybody talks bad about them, this is what they come up with. You gotta die. All of this is coming out, bro. This is all coming out. That's why the ADL was established, because it was the people at that time was figuring it out. It was the bankers, mainly the Rothschilds, that was running everything. This is 1936, if I'm not mistaken. So there was a guy in South Carolina. He was what's this guy's name? He was the only so-called white man that got hung. All right. It was so bad. It was in South Carolina. It was so bad. His family owned a pencil factory. He was raping little girls, and people was already pissed at the so-called Jews at the time, that they actually believed first they blame a nigga, and then when they find another nigga, and the nigga told them, like, nah, it wasn't him, they actually believed them, and they pointed out it was this guy. I forgot this guy's name. Forgive me. It's something that I didn't think about when I was doing the show, but y'all brothers can look it up. So they locked the guy up, and then no trial, no nothing. They just took him in the back and hung his ass. And ever since, Frank is coming to me. Frank something. It'll come. And then at that time, that's when the Anti-Defamation League was established. So they used that cover to silence people talking bad about the bankers or anything like that. So they use that particular thing as a cover up. And that's all they do. They take things and they cover it up. Well, guess what? The time of uncovering is now. Matter of fact, I'm going to start with that. I'll get back to this. Revelations, I started on 1:1. It says the revelations of Yahushua Mashiach. Revelations means in the Greek, apocalypso, which means unveil. Revelations, to unveil. All right. So this is the unveiling of everything. It says the revelations of Yahushua Mashiach, which Yahweh gave unto him to show unto his servants things which which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified by his angel unto his servant John. So John the Revelator, in the island of Patmos, the last of the apostles, the last of the original 12, okay, he was in the island of Patmos in prison, and the Lord kept him, preserved him alive to give him abundance of great revelations, especially of these latter days. So I'm gonna jump down. I'm gonna not jump down. Go to the next chapter. Revelations 3 and 9. Actually, I can start at 2 and 9. Revelations 2 and 9. It says, I know thy works, and this is the Lord speaking. This is in red, right? I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. So he said to the churches, which were the Israelites, all right, who are the Israelites today, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. He said that he know our works and our tribulation and poverty. So we put in a position of poverty. We put in a position of difficulty. All right? It has never changed. The only way it was going to change is when he comes back. It says, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So he said, what is blasphemy? A filthy, wicked lie. So you have people out there pretending to be the Lord's people. All right? Pretending to come from the stock of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And at this point, Yahweh, Judah. Okay? So you have, this is what's going on. So it's obviously, it pertains to a people that's going out there calling themselves this for a long period of time. Okay? Because, yeah, all right. This, I would say, I don't like saying that word, but say the what do you call it? The Hebrew Israelite movement is big, right? How many Hebrew Israelite synagogues is out there? I'm just saying. How many Hebrew Israelite synagogues are out there? Synagogues is what? A church. Okay? You don't hear a synagogue of Hebrew Israelites. They would like to call it BHI. All right? You don't see that. So it's not talking about them. It's talking about another people that's pretending to be the Lord's people. Matter of fact, like I said, I ain't gonna make this long. I gotta, you gotta speak in code because these devils are getting slick. Ezekiel 36 and 4. Therefore, you mountains of Israel, hear the word that the Lord has. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua saith. I said, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, to the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, to the desolate wastes. Did I skip it? No. Now you know what? I'm gonna start at 1. This is also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because the enemy has said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. Once again, here's another clue. Now this is the Old Testament. I just read from the New Testament. But here's a particular clue in Ezekiel telling you there's going to be a particular people in the possession of the Holy Land. All right? It says even that high places are ours in possession. Therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up in every side, that you might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and you are to talk up. You taken up in the lips of talkers, and are infamy of the people. So it's talking about the land. All right. It said, thus, therefore, you mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, to the mountains, to the hills, to the rivers, and to the valleys, to the desolate wastes, unto the cities that are forsaken, which are become a prey, a derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. And right now, that land, everybody's claiming, so many people claiming the land, too many fighting for the land, a lot of bloodshed, a lot of wickedness is going on in the land. All right. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which is what? Another word of saying Esau, the Greek word of saying Esau, Edom. All right. Which have appointed my land into their possession with joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, and cast it for a prey. So if that does not tell you who these people are, they say who they are, that's not really the real people, I don't know what to tell you. This is point blank, to the point evidence that the land is being possessed by these wicked ass, demonic ass demons. All right, the soul, the adversary to Israel. Okay, and they're enjoying that land. Okay, there's nothing but war in the land. It says, prophesy concerning the land of Israel, say unto the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers, to the valleys. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and my fury, because you have bore the shame of the heathen. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, I lift up my hand. Surely the heathen that are round about you, they shall bear their shame. But ye mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches and yield your fruit to my people of Israel, for they are at hand to come. So they're not there yet. They are at hand to come. All right. So these people that's pretending to be something that they're not, they're gonna get what's coming to them. All right. And they could use Kanye West to fortify their lies and desires, but the truth is out. And that's the one thing you can't control, is the truth. Matter of fact, since I said that, Second Ezra 6. Oh, might as well start at 7. Okay, Second Ezra 6. I hate when it does that. When you talk about Satan's favorite children, this is what happens. I guarantee you it's going to work for anything else. Let's go to Second Ezra. Nope, told you. You talk about Satan's chosen, this is what happens. Second Ezra 6 and 7, it says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And this is Ezra, a man of the Lord, from the tribe of Levi, all right, or lawyer, okay, not the tribe of Levi. And this is him going back and forth with the angel. I believe it's Uriel, and this is what Ezra asks. When is all this gonna end? And this is what the Lord said to Uriel to tell him. And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, which is what? The representation of Jacob taking down Esau out of power. All right. So like, okay, that's talking about those people, this and that. But here's the point: you cannot say, you can't pass this part. For Esau is the end of the world. All right, Esau is the end of the world. So there's a particular race of people that's in power right now that's going to end the current world that is the way it is. And the scripture tell you, Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. And that him covering the faces is that blasphemy that was just read about in Revelations 2:9. Okay? He was pretending to be the Lord's chosen people, but not upholding not a single law in the societies that they control. That's another major clue that who they are is not what they are. They go against everything that the scriptures say. So they're the end of the world. And it says, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So the rulership of this world, this current rulership, is about to end. That's why when you read, going back to Revelations, 21st chapter, around the first verse, what did it say? It said, and there was a new heaven and a new earth. Meaning what? A new rulership. All right? New rulers. Not this wicked rulership that's in power right now. Why do you have to mask? If you're the Lord's chosen people, why do you have to mask yourself? Why do you have to pass laws to protect yourselves? The most heavily protected people on the planet Earth is these particular people. All right? But you're supposed to be God's chosen people, but not the God of the Bible. The God that you're representing is Satan. So you Satan's favorite kids. So now I'm going to go to the... It's spiritual because the brother accidentally had a brother read the scripture about them. And look what happens. Exodus 17, I believe it's... I just want to get to the point. No. Yeah. Exodus 17 and 15. It says Moses built... No. Let's go. All right. 17 and 13. I mean, all right. Exodus 17. Then came Amalek and fought with Israel and Rephidim. And Moses said unto Joshua, choose out men and go out to fight against Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of the Most High in my hand. So Amalek, so Lord had, when Moses and the children of Israel was leaving the wilderness, going to the promised land, Moses sent men to go to Esau, Edom, all right, the Edomites, and said, look, we're brethren, we come in peace, we just gonna pass through the land and let us pass. And what did they do? They didn't let us pass as a people. So we passed, and who was the first out of Esau? Amalek. All right, Amalek was the first one. So I'm gonna just jump down to the point. It says, verse 13, and Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And the Lord said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it into the ears of Joshua. For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. I'm laughing because this is the ultimate threat. Like, look, I'm going to put them out of their misery. All right? And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Yahweh's Nasa, on how you say it? Yahweh, Nasaya. Yahweh Nasaya. Yahweh is my banner. All right. So this is what the Lord had Moses, something that was passed down to generation to generation, which is gonna say, and he said, because the Lord have sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. So and this thing that we in is a lot heavier than we think, a lot deeper. There's a terminology in on television with the doppelganger. All right, somebody that's your complete opposite or whatever. Well, that's the opposite of the true Israelites. All right, especially you so-called Negroes. And what Kanye West is doing, they all know, all these celebrities know the truth, all of them, but they using him. All right, the same people that he's complaining about are using him to stir up the pot, so there's more laws of protection. All right, that's why he's banned from Twitter. They coming after everything. It's truly gonna be the famine of the word. Numbers 24 and Numbers 24. I want to get to the point. It says Numbers 24 and let's say 16. Let's start at 16. And he said, which heard the words of Yahweh and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which he saw the vision of the Almighty, falling in a trance, but having his eyes open. So Lord opened up the eyes of a heathen. I shall see him, but not now. I will behold him, but not nigh. And who is he talking about? It says, there shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Seth. Who's that star out of Jacob? Out of all the Israelites that were born under the heavens, there was one Israelite that was surpassed all. That was the Lord, Yahweh Shai. He's coming to bring war. He's coming to rule. He's coming to conquer. All right. It says verse 18, and Edom shall be a possession. So meaning all the lands of Esau shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do violently. And out of Jacob shall come he that have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth out of the city. When he looked up on Amalek. Now Amalek is part of Esau. All right, but there's a yeah, they're so fucked. That's why these Rothschilds, all right, these Bowers, that's what their real names are. That's why they real persistent on their ungodliness, because they know for a fact what's going to happen to them. When he looked on Amalek, he took up this parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. So the first ones to attack Israel, and at the end, because like I said, stated on Saturday, I'm saying it again tonight, they've been at war with us ever since. All right, don't get it twisted. Don't believe the hype of they using Kanye as a saying, oh, how we're so racist and this, that, to the third. These mother effers has been at war with us from the very beginning. Matter of fact, this is one particular scripture I want to get. Revelations 12, points at 17, but I'll just jump down. It says, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head were upon her head a crown of 12 stars. Those 12 stars represent the nation of Israel. That woman is all of Israel. And she began with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. And that child was who the world ignorantly called Jesus. All right. And it says, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads, which was represent the Roman Empire. All right, the Roman Empire. The 7 heads, 7 heads and the 10 crowns is all the province that they had. The beginning of their empire, because there's particular names of, they're NATO today, but there was other names that they would call. Well, 7 heads are what? Greece, Rome, Germania Minor, Major, Spaniard, the Franks, and Britain. These are the 7 places that they control. All right, and when you just add a couple, 3, well, I believe 3 more other nations that they had in control, but these were that was that dragon, and who was ruling? Who was ruling at the time? If I'm not mistaken, it was Augustus Caesar. All right. So that red dragon represented the Roman Empire. The red dragon, which represents Esau, and his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, which is what? Judah, Benjamin, Levi, because those are the 3 tribes that was remaining in the land of Israel at the time when it was being oppressed by the Romans, because the 10 tribes already left. There was some that remained. They'll tell you about a prophetess in Acts. I believe she was Asherite. There was other, some of the tribes were still there, but majority of the other tribes, they went to the Americas. All right. It says, and did cast them to the earth, and the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as he was born. And it goes into Herod. All right. Herod was a representation of the Roman Empire, a friend of, might I add, a friend of Augustus, a classmate of Augustus. All right, that's another history. When he found out that the true Messiah was going to be born, what did he do? He sent the soldiers out to kill the firstborns. All right, all the firstborns. So he was waiting to devour the Lord. And she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all the nations with a rod of iron. Which, when you just not read Numbers, it's telling you our Lord and Savior is coming back to rule. He's not coming back to love. He's not coming back to give hugs to the world. He's coming back to rule. He's coming as a conquering lion. And he was caught. Her child was caught up unto the Most High and to his throne, which was after the Lord put his life on the line. All right, he was raised up, went to the heavens, and came back down and taught his apostles, which are his disciples, all the things that they needed to know to start the ministry. So he jumped down. Oh, actually, I'm gonna keep going. It says, and the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of the Most High. And that wilderness, after 70 AD, the woman had to flee into the wilderness, which is Africa. Okay, we had, if I'm not mistaken, it was Alexander, Egypt, where there was a very great population of Israelites that was there already. Okay, so and the Lord told Israelites to flee because the persecution was coming. So that place was prepared. It was in Africa. It says that they should feed her that were 1,203 scores days. All right, and that feeding, that preparation, the wilderness was Africa, but the place of preparation is here in Americas. All right, Slakia. So let me jump down because I want to get to the point, because this is going to the future prophecy, and this is verse 17. Matter of fact, 16. It says 12 and 16. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth, which we used to say that it was the archaeology, but that was just the terrain helping us to flee, all right, from the Roman persecution. But here's the point, 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, which was Israel. Okay, when they came back into power from the Ottoman Turks, they was persecuting, getting rid of all this, the real Jews out of power. All right, they said the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. And who's the remnant? Is speaking of the elect. But they went to make war with all of us. All right. So the moment we are born into the society, you're automatically given shots, immunization. You're automatically given a birth certificate. You automatically live in a poor neighborhood, so you're getting fed less. You're getting fed GMOs. Then there's a psychological war that they do to you. They tear up your own household before you don't even stand a chance. You're only given in the hood. You're only given a few options: drug dealer, deaf, athlete. They promote that position. If you make it as an entertainer, you have to sell your soul. If you don't make it as anything, you're being locked up. So they've been at war with us from the very beginning. So now they want to pretend like everybody's against them, but they've been against everybody, but they did it clever. All right, they did it sneaky. It says, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which kept the commandments of the Most High. And out of all of Israel, the Israelites, they really want the ones that's keeping the law, statutes, commandments. They really want the elect of the nation of Israel. So they're willing to sacrifice and destroy everything in order to achieve their ultimate goal. The elites hates the elect. The elect hates the elites. And everything that's in between is just sacrifices, okay? So the war has always been going on. That's why the Lord said that from generation to generation, they've been at war with us from the very jump. All right? They've been at war with us because they know their latter end. They know exactly what's going to go down, how it's going to go down. But they just want to try to upset prophecy. It's not our fault that the Most High didn't choose your daddy to rule the world. And here it is. When you're under your rulership, and look at what you did. But that's all part of the prophecy. Okay? It's all part of the prophecy. Because according to the scriptures, matter of fact, let me finish this off and I get the precept and I'm going to end it off in there. It says, which kept the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahushua Mashiach. So if you guys were the people that you claim to be, when did this particular scripture take place? Isaiah 2 and 2 and 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains. Mountain meaning government. Alright? Meaning the top government is going to be the Lord's and his people. Alright? His rulership, his laws, statutes, commandments to rule the whole entire earth. And shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go to the mount of the Lord, to the house of the Most High of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways. And we will walk in the paths. From out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So there's going to be people going back and forth into the land of Israel and being taught how to keep the Lord's law. But there's more. It says, and he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. So there will not be no war. It says, nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. But here it is. You have Russia attacking Ukraine. You have North Korea shooting missiles at Japan. You got China want to go to war with Taiwan. Then you have the people that's in the land of Israel that want to attack Iran. Then you have the U.S. want to go to war with Russia. All right, so you have World War III right at this very moment. So how are these people the people of the Lord? If all these things are happening, they're not. So the house of Jacob So, O house of Jacob, come ye and let us walk in the light of the Lord. Therefore thou hast forsaken the people, the house of Jacob, because they replenish from the east, and the soothsayers like the Philistines, and they please themselves in the children of strangers. And that's the MO of Israel, the history of the true Israelites. All right, and that's how they got us in an adulterous way, because the only way to get Israel as a whole is have them sin against the Lord. And they know the MO. That's why they continuously promote madness to our people. But the elect of the nation Israel, those are the stars. All right, and Lord willing, I'm part of those stars. Those are the gems that the Lord been holding back. And like the Lord told Ezekiel, I have 7,000 men who never bow down the knee to Baal. All right, so we at war, man. We at war. Consistent war. No matter how they try to pretend, we've been at war. So with that being said, you brothers, edify, shalom to the elect of the nation. Shalom.